Welcome to Behind the Music. My name's Bob Fraser. I'm the bass trombone player in the Victoria Symphony. I also do pre-concert lectures before every one of our Masterworks series concerts right here at this very spot. This is the West Lobby of the Royal Theatre, and we're really thrilled. Our first guest artist of the year is Stewart Goodyear. He's playing the Ravel Concerto for the left hand, and this is your ninth appearance with the Victoria Symphony, and I think you've done eight of those in just like the last 12 years or so.
Yeah.
So you've gotten to develop like a really good relationship with us over time.
Feels like a family. I love coming back here. It's like my second home.
Excellent. Well, we love having you back. We're thrilled to be doing this particular piece with you. We've done all kinds of things with you. You've done one of our commissioned works by one of our composers in residence, Tobin Stokes. You toured with us. You got to party with us on tour. Does it make a difference when you come back that you feel like it's a little bit more like home?
Yeah, I think so. I feel, it's music making with family. That's how I could describe it.
Excellent.
It's a party on stage, and every moment is enjoyable. It's fun. It's spontaneous. It's organic.
Now, this concerto that you're doing with us, this is fortuitous. This is great timing because Stewart has just released a CD, and I have it with me here. And hopefully Hugo can zoom in on this. This is Stewart's latest CD of early piano music of Ravel. Can you tell us a little bit about what's on it?
So I lived with the music of Ravel since I was a youngster. Always was enamored with his music, and this CD is comprised of works from the Pavane to Gaspard de la Nuit. It is Ravel establishing himself as a young composer, as an enfant terrible, if you will. And it's just full of color, full of devilish characteristics. It's a multi-layered CD. It's emotional. It's dark. It's bright. It's sunny. It's graceful. It's grotesque. It's a real roller coaster ride. I love comparing things to a roller coaster because to me, the thrill of music making. Every time I perform a work, it doesn't matter if it's the first time or the millionth time, it's always an adventure. So I always like to refer to those moments as a roller coaster ride.
Now, this concerto, very unusual. Well, it seems to be very unusual because it only uses one hand. Yeah. The story behind that, you know the story behind that. Can you tell us the story behind that?
So Paul Wittgenstein was a concert pianist, and he lost his right arm in World War I, but he still wanted to continue performing, so he was going through all of the left-hand repertoire and commissioning noted composers of the 20th century like Benjamin Britten, Paul Hindemith, Richard Strauss, I think, and Ravel. And Ravel, in the meantime, was thinking of being a concert pianist himself. He was working on the Concerto in G, the two-hand concerto, in the meantime, and he got this commission, and it was just too irresistible to pass up. And it was the ultimate challenge for him because he wanted the concerto to sound like it was, you could almost hear three hands as opposed to only one. So it's, I think, one of the most challenging concertos ever written.
Maybe we should have a little excerpt from it. I think the opening's perfect because the opening to me, it comes out of this really dark place. It starts with the double basses. You can barely discern what they're playing. It's just sort of this,
and it just it just goes up and up and up.
And a contrabassoon solo. Very rare to have a contrabassoon solo. And then the piano emerges out of this with this. It's almost a defiant flourish. It's like, look what I can do with just one hand. Nice. That's like,
etc.
I've never been that close to a piano, and when somebody's been doing that, that's quite amazing. That's more than I can do with two hands, quite easily, quite handily.
And that's one of the easier parts of the piece.
The easier parts of the piece too, because you have to, fit in. That's a cadenza passage that you're playing on your own, so you have a little bit more freedom than when you have to fit in with this massive.
Yes, massive orchestration and being heard beyond that that huge mass behind me is another challenge. So, yep, a lot of weightlifting was required.
Silly question: do you get lopsided practicing this concerto? Do your right hand get kind of bored, and what do you do? What do you do with your right hand when you're working on this concerto?
Well, after the left-hand concerto, I also play through the Brahms' second concerto, which is a piece I'm going to be performing next week. So both hands are occupied right now. Yeah.
Excellent. I'll tell you a funny story. The last time we played this was Krzysztof Jablonski, and he had a young toddler with him at the time. His son was like, maybe this tall. And when he was warming up backstage, he had his son on his lap with his right arm sort of restraining his son around his son, and he was practicing with the left hand, and it was the perfect concerto. And we had this horn player in the orchestra at the time who is kind of a character. He's now in the Berlin Philharmonic of all places now. And he came up to him and said, "Dude, you should totally get one of those big foam fingers like they have at the football games with Ravel #1 written on it." And just be like doing that, especially for that opening passage. You're probably not ready to do anything like that here just yet, maybe.
Well, I'm up to a dare.
You're up to a dare. Oh, okay. Well, a lot of people don't know this. The concerto usually really gets shortchanged in rehearsal time. We usually only get about 2 hours if we're lucky, and then you get a run through on the dress rehearsal. Does the fact that you've played with us a lot, that you know the hall, you know the piano, you know the orchestra, does that give you a little bit more of a sense of peace coming into it? Like, yeah, we got this. We can nail this.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Are you looking forward to meeting Christian as well?
Of course, yes.
It'll be the first collaboration with our new music director, and for us, it's sort of a new thing too, because this is his first main series concert with us as the music director, and he's picked a pretty ambitious program.
I'm very excited about this week.
So in a few minutes, we're going to rehearse this. You have to go over tempos with Christian, so we'll leave you to it. But just to let everybody know, we're doing this twice. Hopefully this will be up on the internet before Saturday, because Saturday night we play in Duncan at 7:30 at the Cowichan Community Center. And then here at the Royal Theatre, Monday night, 8 p.m., come to the pre-concert lecture at 7 p.m. because I'll be talking to Christian. And thank you very much. Thanks to Hugo Wong for doing the filming for us. Thanks to Jill Smiley from the Victoria Symphony for putting everything together. And we'll see you very soon.
See you soon.